Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how I achieve this real cute color block nail look. So of course, I have my tips prepped and ready to go. And as always, when I'm working with colored acrylic, I always go through and put a thin layer right on top of the nail bed with clear acrylic. This is just to cover the natural nail bed and make sure the pigment isn't dyeing the nail bed or anything like that, and just to create a stronger base. Then I'm taking the color Perfect Nude from Valentino, and I'll link all of my things down in the description box below. And my clear was from Valentino as well. But here I'm just taking the nude and I'm applying it to the top area because the bottom color will be clear. And usually with ombre, if you're doing a two-color ombre, I start with the bottom color, like towards the tip, and then I work on up to the cuticle area. But since we're working with clear, and the clear is just easier to go on top of the nude, I'm going to start with bringing the nude down. And here I just put one bead and I'm slowly working it down. And I'm kind of using like patting motions, if you want to say, to work it down. It's not really like a paintbrush, so you don't want to act like you're painting it on. And I'm slowly just adding more on as I go where I think it needs to be added. And you want to make sure that you're only taking a little bit at a time. You don't want too much because that could cause a whole mess. Here I'm just taking my clear acrylic from Valentino and I'm starting to work on the ending of the tip and work my way up, and I'm going to cover the whole tip. Usually you don't have to cover the nude color that I use because it is a cover powder, meaning it's strong enough to be on its own. But since it's kind of uneven as it fades down to the tip, I'm just going to go through and cover it with the clear just to create an even base, an even structure, and get that apex right and everything. Just a little tip, here you'll see me add more monomer into my little cup, and this is because you always want to make sure that there's enough monomer to cover your entire acrylic brush. This is because if there's not enough, it can mess up the bead that you get. Like the bead can be too dry and the acrylic application just won't be as flawless. So you always want to make sure that you have enough monomer. You see that I'm always trying to wipe the sides with my fingers, and this just helps me to maintain the shape, because I feel like sometimes the brush just can't get all of the excess acrylic off of the sides, so I just go through with my finger. With acrylic application, I always feel that it's easiest to start from the bottom and work your way up. This just helps get that smooth application and the right apex getting to work. Here you're actually going to see how I clean my brush sometimes, and I just take this old orange wood stick or old cuticle pusher and I rub it against the brush, and you want to go with very gentle motions. You don't want to go too hard because that will ruin the bristles, but I like to just make sure that there's no old acrylic being stuck in my brush, because that can affect the way you pick up a bead and the way the application is being set. So I like to just make sure that everything is clean throughout the process. Here I'm just going in with my file and starting to file, and you really want to go at a 90-degree angle, as you can see, like I just showed you. I really like to keep the file as straight as possible against the sidewalls and just file that way. And the shape I'm doing here is tapered squares, so keeping it at a 90-degree angle very straight helps with that square look and just getting it very sharp and smooth. Tip of mine with shaping, if you feel like there's just something wrong with it, you haven't filed the bottom part yet, but you feel like it's something wrong with the sidewalls, like what else can you do to fix the shape, go ahead and file the bottom part, because that could be what's wrong. And once I do that, I feel like the shape looks 10 times better. So just go ahead and do that before and then figure out what you need. Sometimes I'll flip the hand over like I'm doing here just to check the shaping, making sure that the nails are straight and consistent. I don't know why, but I accidentally skipped this finger, so you see me just going back and shaping this one. Once I'm done filing the sidewalls with my hand file, I go in with my e-file, and I'm using a 2x coarse bit, and this is just to take down the acrylic around the cuticle area and make sure it's not so bulky, and just fix up my acrylic application, making sure it's all smooth and there's no bumps. finishing up with the e-file and then going with the buffer, and I'm just buffing with the hard side, and then I like to just smooth it out even more with the soft cushion side. It's not for use, but I like to use it anyways. I then had the client go and wash her hands, and when she came back, I'm just applying the base coat I use, which is the OPI regular polish base coat. And like I always say, I like to use the base coat because sometimes I feel like the top coat can peel off if it's sitting right on top of the acrylic, so I like to have something in between. For the color block part, I decided to do it with polish instead of acrylic, just because I was working with the nude into clear ombre, which was going to make it a little bit more difficult working with acrylic. So this was just my easier way of doing this. And I'm just drawing the line carefully, drawing the sides and everything. And you'll actually see me get a brush with some acetone on it, and that's just to clean up the line whenever I feel like I need to. Next step is to apply the diamonds, and here you can see I'm just applying my gummy jelly from Nail Couture, and I've just applied it onto the nail wherever I'm going to place the diamonds. And then I applied the shiny gel from Nail Couture on top of it, and before curing it is when you want to add the diamonds. So I'm just adding the diamonds, and you'll see me kind of push the diamonds around because that is what the gummy jelly allows you to do. Instead of glue, it'll harden right then and there, so you can't really mess around with the diamonds. But throughout me doing this, you'll just see me mess with the diamonds, making sure they're in the right position and everything, and then I'll cure them for 60 seconds. Before with the other fingers, I would do one finger at a time and then cure it, and that's because it was bigger designs with rhinestones. But here you see me doing more than one finger at a time, and that's just because I'm adding only one rhinestone, and it's kind of easy to just do more one at a time so I can put them all in the LED light at the same time. And the thumbs I'm doing separate. I put them in the light at the same time, you'll see me do them separate so that they can go straight into the light together. Because if I feel like, I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain it. I feel like if I put the hand in with diamonds on the thumb and the thumb isn't straight up, the light doesn't necessarily hit it all the way and the diamonds may not cure completely, and that causes them to fall off easier. But you'll see me do it all. And of course, I gotta add my finishing touch, which is my cuticle oil. And we're all finished. This set is super cute and classy and in style with the look of the color block going around. Thank you everybody for watching, and just like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what other videos y'all would like to see.